The power is in the science, otherwise nobody can predominate than others, told the great Nizami in the 12th century. The intelligence is the main support for human. The wisdom is the true treasure of human being, said Nizami Ganjavi in 9 centuries ago. If you search a key for a closed door, you can find it by the scientists. If you wish to learn the science, then try to know everything perfectly, said the genius Nizami. Nizami was writing this in the darkest medieval times. He was calling the people to knowledge, wisdom. When you took a look to this time, then you'd understand the Nizami more clearly and see how Nizami is great. Nizami is known for the 5 jewels, Khamsa. The 5 jewels, Khamsa, consist of 5 poems: The Treasure of Mysteries, Khosrow and Shirin, Layli and Majnun, The 7 Beauties, the Book of Alexander. Nizami touched the most spheres of the life in each sentence and created the important quotes, aphorism in his poems. In this video blog, I will touch mostly to his scientific and global ideas. One of the ideas of Nizami caught my attention specifically. It's interesting that Nizami had written about utopic socialism 5 centuries before Thomas More, who was considering the owner of this idea. Nizami formed an imaginary society in which indeed the gold is equal to the ordinary stone. People all live equally, there are no any social classes, all live in happiness and kindness, even nobody closed their windows. Furthermore, he had noticed about the basic principles of the communism 7 centuries before Karl Marx, so that the phrase, as Karl Marx said, only in the communist system there will be no need to rule the society by the government structure, was used to describe in the Nizami's ideas. In this society, there are no strict government, crown, ruler to lead the country, because the system has been formed such a perfect structure. There will not be need these factors. Nizami was not only the great poet and writer at that time, on the other hand he was a great researcher and reader too. It's obvious that Renaissance in Europe started in 15th-16th centuries. The first idea to stimulate the Renaissance forming was like this: the earth is the good place and valuable to research and discover. In the base of this scientific leap was the ancient scientists, the owners of the scientific philosophical ideas. Renaissance, indeed the first leap was the back to the period of the ancient genius scientists. Nizami had a lot of information about from the Archimedes to the Socrates, Aristotle. Nizami touched the fundamental creation topics of life in his writings. For example, he said, according to the Aristotle's ideas, the fire was born by the force of the movements. The weather was created by the cause of fire. Humidity could not have the force of movement and converted to the water. It was one of the causes of creation of the water. After the reading of these phrases, we take a look to the modern science, and it's obvious that one of the main elements, the basis of creation, the forming of water, passed the hard and special periods. So, the many forces which formed the atmosphere and liquid was the volcanic fire existing millions years ago. The burning of volcanoes and the gas compounds moved to the empty sky. After this time, the atmosphere of the earth started to form and began the long-term rains. Water dropped into the ground of the earth and formed the life on the surface. In this section, what I find the most influential thinking and feelings, Nizami illustrates his own some special ideas which are basic of the modern science. After death, our bodies change and spread, but never disappear. These particles rejoin as another part of unit and reform new kind of life. What is flowing on the ground rewinds to rise again. A man who lived in the 12th century explains specifically the circulation of the natural life. Nizami envisaged small particles that form the basis of a substance, and Nizami incorporates a number of science fiction idols such as the restoration of the past and rebuilding of the ruin. In addition to the common approach to the science, Nizami has come to a special approach of its distinctive subjects. For example, Nizami emphasized the importance of chemistry. Chemistry is a such subject for humanity, everyone should learn about it. The masterpiece of Nizami is the Book of Alexander. Nizami shared his thoughts about Alexander, who tried to conquer the world, and showed the historical processes of that time as his imaginary approach. Nizami mentioned the name of Aristotle, the giant of that era, who was the teacher of Alexander and had been big effects to educate Alexander and form his basis personality. One of the other issues that Nizami touched is a woman. Nizami deals with the woman's factor in managing political power and society, and emphasizes women's rights in each sector. He imagines an ideal woman and shows an example to the men rulers of the world. Nizami brings Alexander, the conqueror of the world, to his utopian country and describes its structure, system, and the image of the woman there. Alexander asks, "Who is the ruler of this happy country?" The answer is a woman who is the more courageous than men. Nizami considered that the passion for wealth is the main cause of the wars and occupations. The main parts of the wealth are gold, jewelry. These kind of wealth materials are disclosed at the highest level by Nizami's style. When Alexander comes to the territory of Azerbaijan, a female ruler gives a great life lesson, presents the gold and jewelry to eat instead of food. Nizami has also touched the issue of the justice with the special method. A ruler who could establish justice was one of the principal ideas for Nizami, and he was referring to the kings who were supporters of justice as a jealous ruler over other tyrants. For example, when describing the Greek ruler Philip, he manifested the situation in the Greek-Persian wars in his own way, in which Taras saw the justice of Philip and envied that's why he sent his soldiers to take tribute. Nizami is such great genius that there are forces in the world today who want to adopt him as their genius, not as an Azerbaijani poet, scientist, but as Persian or purely Persian literature. One of the most biased approaches of these sources, which is the main reason for Nizami's Persian writing, is to hide some tracks of some historical aspects of that time. During the period of Nizami's life, the Azerbaijan Eldagizid states exist. Nizami lived in this state throughout his entire life in Ganja, Azerbaijan. Before the Eldagizis, the great Turkish Empire, Seljuk state existed in this territory. The root of modern Azerbaijan language is Turkish Oguz, the same language with the Seljuks and Eldagiz. According to historical facts, in this region and time the Persian language was widely used in cultural, literary, and official form. Nizami is a native and ancient part of Azerbaijan. Nizami took a name that would declare to the world he was from Azerbaijan, Ganja city, where he wrote, created, never left, never ran from palace to palace for the rules and money, lived just a simple man and finally died. Today, Nizami's mausoleum grave is situated in the Ganja city. His spirit is still living there. Anyone who wants to visit Nizami today should come to Ganja and Azerbaijan, not to any other countries.